Everybody, welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and welcome to the updated, definitive tier list for Octopath Traveler COTC. Anyone that disagrees with anything I say here is wrong, and let me explain with math why. Now, what you see on screen right now is not the tier list. This is the tier list that I did in the last video, and let me quickly turn this down just a little bit. This is the Octopath main theme going. This is the tier list that I did in the last video where I ended. So before we rank the currently unranked characters that I did not do, I actually think I did do Heathcote. Second, I haven't pulled up here even. Heathcote is, it's got to be, no, that's Teresa. Maybe I put Heathcote in S tier. That's Wingate. So I put Heathcote up here. Let me make some changes before we get into the characters that I have not yet ranked. First, we're gonna flip some things around, okay? Gilderoy, worst. I think we might have to add more to the C rank eventually, but right now, Gilderoy worst. This is an error. My hate on Gilderoy has subsided ever since the Tickle Cup came out. But in my defense, as I've always said, the issue with Gilderoy is that I never needed a tank for literally anything ever. And so he fulfilled a role that was irrelevant. However, when you need a tank, he does a good flipping job. Now, I am only going to move him up to B rank because I still think he's not good in most content. And outside of some very rare fights where you just want someone to sit there and be a meat shield, he's not great. But in the Tickle fight, he is fantastic. He's not leaving my team anytime soon. But I do think him and Tressa are probably pretty interchangeable. They don't seem to be that different right now. And she has some priority moves, the ability to donate BP, the ability to survive hits. He has some defense up. So they're a little two flavors of the same thing. They're not that much different to me right now. Overall, I think Tress is probably still a little bit better, but I'm going to put her above Gilderoy. But in the worst category, we have to do something that I was dreading for a long time. Millard, you're now the worst character, the worst 5-star, in my opinion, in the game. Why? Theo is a better healer. We all kind of already knew that. And the main thing was like, all right, he's good at healing sometimes. You know, he's good at healing reactively instead of proactively. It's just better to heal proactively over reactively. Just Theo on turn 1 and heal your squad. Now, sometimes it is nice to have a strong heal where, like, because maybe you had a character with speed issues, there's a character in the back that you wanted to heal, but Theo can't heal them, and that doesn't heal to the end of turn, so, like, you want someone to heal the turn of, but still, it's just not typically that good. But really, the reason he fell off is that if we look at, we've got 1, 2, 3, all these characters here are way better light damage dealers in the vast majority of times than Mr. Millard here. So Millard is now become almost completely irrelevant. That doesn't mean he doesn't fit on any teams, but it's just like he's very rarely the best choice for any role, making him the worst in my opinion. Now, another correction we have to make. We're gonna make 2. I don't think, like, I don't have Heathcote, but S rank, I don't think so, man. I think he's a high B rank. I think I put him up there because of his ability to farm Kates or something. I don't know. Maybe that's good, but that doesn't, you don't get an S rank because you're good at farming Kates. I think he was a really, really good damage dealer. I think that it's probably, I don't know if he's fallen off or anything yet. It's too soon to say that, but I'm not as impressed with this kit overall as I was. I do think that he's still good. I'm excited to get him, yada, yada, but not like blowing me away. I think high B is a pretty fair spot for Heathcote, and this might change in the future as you know, we're going to start every tier list with adjusting what I did previously. And do I need to keep it this small? Probably not. Can I adjust this to be a little bit before we get any deeper into the video? Can we just do this? Also, I will put the link to this if I remember. Hopefully I will. Below, that way you guys can make your own tier list and share it with me on Discord if you want. There, that's a little bit better, huh? It's at least functional. All right. Outside of that, I think Viola becomes the top A tier. I think she's always good in every fight, but she's never amazing in any fight right now. I think Lynette has proven to be better in more fights than Primrose for me. And it's hard to explain why. I just like having her around more most of the time. Yeah, but I think Primrose is kind of objectively a little bit better. So we're going to keep it like that. Now, we are going to go into the ranks. Also, some characters suffer from the same issue. Actually, you know what, Theo? You're going to go right below Viola, but I think you're better than Sophia or Scarecrow. Oh, and so I'm sorry, Fiora, actually. Fiora is going to high A tier. She's getting bumped up from B to A. She hits like a fucking truck. Very, very, very strong. And Viola might still deserve S tier, but I don't know. There's some powerful stuff here. So we're going to then go through this and do our best. So I think Kasumi, low key, is freaking great. This might be higher, but I mean, just look at her sprite. She even has like she probably has the best sprite of anyone in the game, first of all. Just like, I don't think the SP recovery is that good, but between all of her support abilities and the ability to deal good damage, I just think she kind of deserves the spot in S. You know, like, I tend to put S rank things with high utility. But so I'm biased towards that, but also just a great, at least a good damage dealer as well. Now, there are several of these characters I don't have. I had all the characters, or nearly all the characters before. I'm going to put the characters that I do have in the back, and it's these two. I don't have these next four. Just so keep that in mind when I'm ranking them. I'm ranking them based off opinions that I don't fully have formed because I haven't used them to the fullest of their abilities yet. I still think Primrose might be the best character in the game, but I think it's pretty close because she's not like, she doesn't carry any fight. She's just good in every fight. Corin, I think Corin could be the this is tough because I think Fiora hits harder on average, but he has some really cool abilities, and I do think he hits really hard, and he does have better light coverage than Fiora does, right? Fiora doesn't have any kind of coverage, basically. She's got that shitty elemental stuff, so he's got a little bit more utility, and he's kind of got this cool thing about breaking or hitting shields really hard. But is that really that good? I don't know. But his stats, he still hits hard. He's still very good. I do think he's like a good A tier unit, but not quite above Fiora, probably. Eliza, if it wasn't for the fact that we just got Odetta, is it Odetta or Odette? I can't even remember right now. I think she got like really outshined like almost immediately, like literally the next banner. Because she's like a light paladin, but I mean, she's good. But is she a B tier? I don't know. I think she's an easy skip for most people. And it's like, I think she might be a high B tier. I think that I like her a lot thematically. She's very cool. I'm an Eliza fan, but one of the reasons why Tickle is really good, in my opinion, and Eliza is not as good, it's more so than just the abilities. Their abilities are pretty similar. But it's like Tickle specifically has a tickle only accessory that gives 150 elemental attack. Eliza doesn't have that going for her. Yeah, she's got her 4 awakening thing, but like everyone's got a 4 awakening thing basically. Tickle will eventually probably get a 4 awakening thing and have her unique thing. But 150 elemental attack is nothing to shake a sword at. So I think her lack of that is going to keep her damage from being super good for a long time, unless we get some like really strong magical swords. But I think she's going to be kind of struggling right now. I do think maybe it goes Heathcote above her. It's kind of hard to say. Hannet's a weird one for me. I'm just going to put her by Scarecrow. I think she's definitely better than Scarecrow. But I'm not, I think Corin might actually scoot down here a little bit. But I don't think that it's like absolutely broken insane. She's got some cool stuff, and she's very similar to Scarecrow, but I think just a little bit more powerful in a lot of ways, with like a little bit of guarantee crit built in, a little bit of gambling from the 3 to 5 hit things. So good. She does good damage, but she doesn't seem like broken to me or anything like that. She just seems really good. Now, this is the character I probably want the most. She's basically Sophia. In fact, maybe I move Sophia down a little bit. I don't know. Sophia does a shit ton of damage, but I'm trying to consider them in two ways. How much content are they good in, and how good are they good in the content that you would use them in? And I think Sophia is one of the best in the game at being in the content that she's in. Like, if you want someone with ice damage, you want a Sophia, right? She might be literally the best in the game at that fight. And I think she's Theresa, I can't remember her name, is kind of the same as Sophia, right? She's just the lightning variant. So they're very, very similar. I mean, look at, if you put their faces over each other, it's the exact same face. It's just a different outfit. So I think they're really kind of both going to be next to each other in A. They're not good in all the content. They're not good even in probably much content. You know, they're each going to be good in a specific fight, but they're going to be super badass in those fights. Now the last two. Tickle is tough. I think she's definitely better than Eliza. I'm trying to not let my opinion of how much I like her keep me away. I think she might be not quite. I think she's somewhere in here. She's kind of a one-trick pony. She's kind of wind, you know? She has some sword attacks. Also, I think I need to move. I'm trying to decide. So many of these units are actually really good, but I do think Scarecrow is actually better than these two, because Scarecrow's ability to hit 4 shields, like he's basically made Tickle. He's like one of the only reasons Tickle is even possible. And I think that means I have to put Hannah here too, because that's kind of the same thing. They make the Tickle fight so much easier. And even though they don't make the, because the 4, the 4, and she can hit up to 5 shields in a turn. That's pretty insane. Tickle doesn't do anything absolutely insane. She does have the same ability as Scarecrow to hit 4 wind, but it's on a single target. She has AoE too. She has good wind damage in general, but it's still kind of like, it just doesn't. I think her accessory brings her from where she would be in B tier up to an A tier. Like, she's a good damage dealer, and you're gonna happily have her as one of your 8 in a lot of fights. But I don't think she deserves to be above this myself. Not yet. Like, I maybe I'll change my mind if we get some content where she's like super badass, but right now she's just kind of there. She's good, but I mean, A tier is good. These aren't bad units, but she's just not like S tier or really high A tier. As for the new unit, Odetta, I am going to put her up in S tier in the current state of the game. It is important to keep in mind the current state of the game, I think, while doing this. And she just does everything, and she does it all very well. She doesn't do, I wouldn't say she's like maybe the best in the game at any specific thing, although she might be the best light attacker. It might be her, Hasumi. Like, we've had, it's probably not Corin. It's probably not Eliza. Those are kind of like all up in the air. But she might be the best light attacker, but she's also like one of the best wind attackers, and she's also a great book attacker. There's not that many good book attackers, especially on this list. Like, if you're looking at 5 stars with things that can actually get some HP, right? There's not, like, I don't think Sophia has, I think it's a 1 book, might be a 2 book attack, but she has a 3 book attack that smacks, kind of like Lynette's you know, the Bemusing Fan. So I think she's really good. I actually think she might be up here, maybe even up here. She might be the best in the game right now. Let me think about this. Her damage is crazy. She's good at breaking lots of shields, but she's not usable. The reason I rate these characters so highly is their universal usefulness always. And even Theo I could make that argument for as being the best healer in the game. But outside of being the best healer in the game, he doesn't do that much. These guys are the best buffers, and on top of that, they're also good damage. And on top of that, they also have some other good support abilities. And they have some debuffs. You know, they have buffs and debuffs and damage. Theo is mostly just one thing, so I think that kind of moves him down a little bit. Kind of the same. Like, I do think Viola might be the lowest S tier, actually. I think she could still be there from her overall utility, but I feel bad because I'm never like, oh yeah, Viola, she's the best. I want her in the fight right now. I'm always like, yeah, she's a good like filler unit. She kind of always fits in every team because debuffing attack, debuffing defense, being able to break shields is always good. You never don't have a home for her, you know? So I think she's here right now. I think maybe in the future she'll move down to A, but I think right now, I think this is where we're at. I think this is where we're at right now. I'm gonna go from Primrose, Lynette, Odette, Hasumi. I hope I'm remembering these names. Now that I'm testing myself, I'm not doing good. Violet. Then we get an A tier. We got Fiora, Theo, Scarecrow, Hannett. I think Hannett is obviously just a better Scarecrow. We'll move her to the left. Sophia, Theresa, Corin, Tickle. Tickle might be a. I think Tickle's accessory moves her up to A rank. I think I said that. Heathcote. I don't. And a Heathcote, I just think he falls off pretty fast. Again, he's good. But I don't know. This might be biased because I don't have him though. Eliza, and that hurts my heart to say that. And then the two tanks, but you know what? They're no longer the worst. I do think they're worth moving up. They're very good when they're good, but they're so not good in most of the fights that I've done that I'm not sure. But maybe as I keep doing harder and harder fights, it will be like an S tier. You need to have a tank, and this is the best tank. But right now, I don't need to have a tank in almost any fight. And so only one fight in the game do I need a tank in. And so because they're good in exactly one fight, maybe essential in one fight, they go from C to B. And Millard, he just doesn't really have a home anywhere. Even when I need heals, I just don't bring him. I typically bring Theo. I will say Eliza does have some support that I wasn't considering. She does have like an AoE heal. So she's just like a way upgraded Millard probably. But I still... Does that bring her up? I still don't. I think I'm going to keep her in B. Like, I do think she's good, but I think she's just like kind of, you don't need your damage dealers to heal. Usually it's the worst ability on your damage dealers. But on the opposite, when a character happens to be like a healer support unit, but they can also deal some damage or help break shields, then that's a lot better, I think, than if it's the reverse, where you have a damage dealer or a shield breaker that then wants to come in and heal when things go bad. I think that tends to not be as good. So we're going to sit right here today. Is this a definitive tier list 100%? Obviously, I'm joking when I say that. I don't 100%. This isn't 100% right. This is just kind of like my gut feelings from playing with the units. I'm sure there's like mass data that can help us get a little more accurate, but I'm actually quite happy with this. Let me know what you think. I'll put this link in the description down below. That way you guys can make your tier list. Share it with me on Discord. Explain to me why I'm wrong. Explain to me why I'm right. That'd be nice too. And that's going to be it, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here for the official second tier list of Octopath COTC. I think the next one we're going to do a community one. We'll put it to a vote. We'll do a stream and we'll do a poll for every unit. Like, where should they be? C, B, A, S, you know, and then we'll do it like that. Anyway, Purplatypus is Purplatypus. I'll see you next time. Peace.